Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. First of all, I offer pranams to our Gurudev, Vishnupad Vidandi Swami, Sri Bhaktivedanta Narayan Gosai Maharaj, our Shiksha Guru, Sri Gaur Govinda Maharaj, Sri Bhaktivedanta Madhusudan Gosai Maharaj, all Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis. Hare Krishna, thank you for coming. Okay. So, last night on the Zoom class, we were talking about the 10 subject matters of the Bhagavatam. So one of them is portion. Means Krishna's mercy to the devotees. How Krishna maintains the devotees. So, the demigods, you know Milana, a little bit? Demigods like Shiva, Brahma. Have you heard of them? Yeah. So people worship them for material things. Krishna says, just to, I don't know. Those who have many desires, they worship the demigods. And their desires are quickly fulfilled. But the problem is, the demigods not think too much. This is good or bad for the worshipper. Right, Milana, if your son asked you for a cigarette, would you give him one? No. Because mother thinks this is not good for the child, even though he wants, why I give him? So in Chaitanya, but Krishna thinking, this is beneficial or not beneficial for the devotee. So many times he's not giving. And if he gives, Krishna gives in such a way that we'll never ask for it again. That is special mercy of Krishna. Just like a doctor. Doctor will cure the disease, an expert doctor will cure the disease in such a way it never comes back again. So sometimes, if some devotee really wants something, then Krishna will give it to them in such a way they won't ask again. Gaur Maharaj gave example. One time there was a jackal, he was moving in the sugarcane field. So somehow he ended up smelling the sugarcane, very sweet smell. So he ended up licking it. Oh my God, very nice taste, he thought. Then the jackal, was quite foolish animal, he looked up, he saw one wasp's nest hanging from the top of the sugarcane. The jackal thought, if tree is so sweet, imagine the fruit. So being foolish, he jumped for he thought the bowl-shaped fruit, that is the wasp nest. But this was no fruit, this is wasp, so he bit, and what happened, Gopal? Hundreds of wasps came, and stinging him, and he's running through the field. Oh! And the dog is crying, the jackal's crying. I'll never touch it again, I promise. So Krishna's mercy is like that. If you want it, first of all, should not desire. That is the gold medal. But if devotee is too much attached, too much bewildered, then Krishna give him. But in such a way, he never asks again. Because by worshipping Krishna, he gets superior taste. Then he loses interest in that material thing originally he wanted from Krishna. So, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna talks about 4 types of devotees. Ato atate gigyasa gyanicha bharata sabha. 4 types of pious souls approach me. Those who want wealth. Money, 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 brighter than sunshine. Well, sweeter than honey. Because you have money, you have everything, right? If you have money, then you can get everything. All enjoyment comes behind money. Even if you're ugly but you have money, you can get some girlfriend. Example, Donald Trump. Not the most handsome man, but because he has money, then he has so many girls. Well, at least one, I guess. So Dhruva is the example of the devotee who approached Bhagavan for wealth. What Tamal wants? A new gold tooth. What do you want? A new car. But Dhruva, a decent t-shirt. But what Dhruva wanted? Dhruva wanted his own universe. I want a position even greater than my great-grandfather. Who is that? That is Lord Brahma. He wanted his own, more than his own universe he wanted. We cannot find anyone who have more material desires than Dhruva. But by worshipping Krishna, he developed a taste. Then he gave up that desire. The example of devotee who was suffering is Gajendra the elephant. One elephant, right? Previous life, his name was Indradumna Maharaj. So he had left everything. He was worshipping in the forest, meditating. Then one great saint entered his ashram. Indradumna Maharaj, some say, did not see him. Anyhow, whatever may be, he not stood up to respect him. So Augusta Rishi cursed him. You like to sit on your ass? I curse you. You'll have a huge backside. Right? Elephant. Huge. You want that? Take that. So he took birth as king of elephants in the heavenly planets then. One day he was with many his lady elephants. He went to take to bath and to drink. Then one crocodile grabbed him. And a huge fight was there for 1,000 celestial years. Then, of course, crocodile was more strong because he was in the water. And elephant was weak because he was not in his natural environment. So in great distress, in great pain, at that time he could remember the prayers he offered in his previous life. So out of great distress, he offered prayers to Bhagavan. So Krishna delivered him and also gave him devotion. So he gave up his distress, but he got bhakti. Then the sages of Namasaranya were inquisitive. Kali Yuga had begun. When Krishna left, Milana knows how much about bhakti and everything. A little bit? Nothing? Okay. Just try and follow as much as you can. When Krishna left 5,000 years ago, then this Kali Yuga began. Okay, don't worry, don't look out the window, boys. Even the earth is ending, we should remain absorbed. Who is it? So, they were doing yagya, fire sacrifice. So much ghee, so much mantras. But that was not Treta Yuga. One can achieve success by fire sacrifice in Treta Yuga. But now is Kali Yuga. What happened? Only their beards became black. Their faces became black with no result. Then Sutta Goswami came. They asked their questions to Sutta Goswami. Why we're not getting the result? 6 questions they asked. So the sages of Namasaranya, they not approach Bhagavan directly, but they approach the devotee of Bhagavan, which is the same thing. So they're example of those who approach Bhagavan out of inquisitiveness. But all their answers were fulfilled by hearing Bhagavatam, and they also achieved devotion. And lastly, those who desire liberation. Gopal, what's liberation? We talked in your house, remember? What is liberation? What does mukti mean?
Detachment.
And after that, what will happen?
Go back to Krishna.
But you're detached. Then, liberation means attachment to Krishna. One who is attached to Krishna automatically becomes detached to everyone else and everything else. Example, Sukadeva Goswami. He was liberated soul. Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma na Sochati na Kanksati. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, who never desires anything, who never laments for anything. He can get my devotion. Means if he gets association of my devotee, he can get bhakti. So he was fully renounced. He appeared in the womb of his mother. How long he stayed in the womb, Vanamali? 14 years. 14 years in the womb. Finally, mother said, Milana, how was pregnancy? Quite difficult, I could imagine, right? Okay. But especially towards the end, it must be a little troublesome, no? Just say yes, make me happy. Okay, take it. Well, you needed a husband.
Yeah. Of course, he was helping.
I understand.
But everything else,
But 14 years to have the...
wouldn't be able to do that.
So mother was, come on kid. So Vyasadeva prayed, oh child in the womb, please come out, you are giving so much trouble to your mother. Then the baby spoke, no, here is okay. Why, here I can hear about Krishna, I get association of sadhus, but if I'm born, Maya is so strong, what will happen to me? Then Vyasadeva said, I promise Maya will not capture you. But the child said, I not believe you. I only believe Krishna. So when child was born, so Vyasadeva prayed to Krishna to come from Dwarka. Then Krishna himself said, child, come out from the womb. I promise you will not be captured by my illusory energy. Then Krishna took away his Maya, baby was born. Immediately became 16 years old and went to the forest. No cutting of the spaghetti cord, what's it called? Umbilical cord, nothing. No samskar, nothing. He just went to the forest, fully detached. Then Vyasadeva had many disciples, but he thought no disciple like this quality. Vyasadeva divided the 4 Vedas, he gave to each disciple, but this Bhagavad Puran he not gave to anyone. So he chased the child. Putreti, Putreti, my son, come back. I want to give you something, this Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Purana, that is all the pastimes of Krishna. Krishna's name, form, qualities and activities. Come, I want to give you that. As he went, there was many ladies taking bath in one pond. They were naked. And Sukadeva Goswami was 16 years old, but he not looked. Even he looked, he not saw, because no interest. No. But the ladies also, generally lady, at that time anyway, not like Australia, she would feel some shyness if some man comes and she is half-dressed or something. But when the ladies saw Sukadeva's face, they realized this boy have no interest. So they also felt no shame, no shyness. But when Vyasadeva came running, then all the ladies, oh my God, they covered themselves. Then Vyasadeva was astonished. What is this? I am like your grandfather's grandfather, so old. And you see me, you feel shame, but you see my boy, 16 years old, completely naked, and you feel no shame when you see him. Why? What is this? Then the lady said, because you see this world, but your son does not see this world at all. He have no attachment, nothing. So Sukadeva Goswami example of someone who wanted liberation from birth and death. But hearing the Bhagavatam, actually Vyasadeva had many disciples. There was one disciple who was a bird catcher. So he said, Gurudev, I did many sins catching the parrots and the kiwis and selling them in the market. How I can become free from sins? So Vyasadeva said, you chant this mantra. No. Barhabitam natavadavapu kanyo kanikaram viprad kanaka kapasanda jayantim chamalam brandam adara sudaya punayat yatta brinde brindaranya sapadaramanam pravisha the gita kitte. The gopis sing this. When Krishna enters the forest, no, where's Ramanuja? Not coming. Right. When Krishna enters the forest, how attractive he looks. No. So, with flower garland made of 5 different types of forest flowers down to his knees, with some lilies in his ears, playing the flute. Barhabitam natavad. He looks like Cupid himself with a dark complexion. He's surrounded by cowherd boys on all sides who chant his glories. So, and as he enters Vrindavan, his footprints print the dust there. So handsome, so sweet. So when this bird singer was in the forest, he would chant this mantra to protect himself from ghosts and sinful activity. So when Sukadeva heard this verse, the beauty of Krishna, his heart was pure. We hear this verse and God, it's already been going 15 minutes. How much longer can I take? No, but Sukadeva Goswami heard this verse, immediately the form of Krishna awoke in his heart because his heart was pure. We are hearing, but our heart is not awakening with love of Krishna, because our heart is like wet grass. Right, Gopal? What you're thinking about now? Try and remember Krishna. No? Gopal's here, but thinking, my wife is home, what's for dinner? No? So, as soon as he heard the verse, the form of Krishna woke in his heart. So handsome. So Sukadev grabbed this hunter. Tell me more. He may be beautiful, but what are his qualities? No? Someone may be very beautiful, but may be very cruel. No, like Adolf Hitler, quite a handsome fellow. Oh, not my type, but maybe handsome, it may seem outside, but very cruel person. Snake, or some dog looks very nice, but he may be very angry, very violent dog. So Krishna may be beautiful, but what are his qualities? So Hunter was afraid, he didn't know, because he only knew one verse, so he went back to Vyas. I spoke this verse. One madman came from the forest and grabbed me. Tell me more his qualities. So Vyas said, if that happens again, there's another verse describing Krishna's qualities. Aho bakiyam standakala jikamasya piya sadvi lebidatram gacha uchitam kova saranam dayalam brajema. Krishna is so kind, so merciful. Putana came to kill him. Right, tomorrow, what would you do if someone came to kill you? What would you do? Do unto others before they do unto you? She came to kill Krishna. She put poison on her breast to feed him. Krishna was baby aged. So Krishna drank the poison. He drank out all her faults, all her bad things. And he sent her to Goloka Vrindavan. You become my mother, but not here, there. So, how kind, how merciful. These are the qualities of Krishna. So hearing of Krishna's first beauty, then his qualities, then Sukadeva Goswami gave up the idea of liberation and became devotee. So three types of intelligence. The gold medal, you hear something is bad or something is good and you fix your mind on it. If we hear something's bad, I won't do it. Silver medal, what's that tomorrow? You hear it's bad, but not believe or something, then you do it. You suffer like a dog, then you promise no more. And the bronze medal? A few bronze medalists out there. Suffer again and again and again, but still not give up. Anyhow, therefore Kaviraj Goswami says, no, what is it? Krishna kohi ama bhajan majai visai sukh amrita chare visai pibe ei baramurk. Krishna says. No? Someone who worships me and wants material thing, this person is fool. Right? Why? Because he's giving up nectar and he's asking me, give me poison. Like if someone would ask Gurudev, I want to marry, what would he say? How can I give you blessing to drink poison? No, he would try. So, okay, Milanda, don't hear that. So, this is like poison in one way, because always children and money, where money come, and all this, so much tension. Okay, if you can do, remember Krishna at the same time, that means great achievement. So Krishna says, someone who worships me for material thing, they're giving up nectar of my service, and they're asking Krishna, give me poison. But Ami Vigya Murk Visaya cannot dibo Swacharanam Dibe Visaya Bolibo. But Krishna says, I am not a fool. He asking me, he is foolish, he asking me for poison, but I am not a fool, why I give him poison? So instead of giving him poison, I give him the nectar of my service. No? And drinking that, he forget all material desires. This is the power of Krishna bhajan. Like we were reading in Jaivadharma the other day. Sankaracharya taught everyone, if you want liberation, worship Krishna. But because he knows by worshipping Krishna, you'll get such a taste, you'll give up the idea for liberation anyway. Okay? So Bhagavatam, 6th canto, this is dealing so much with portion. Oh. This is your husband, right? What's his name? Zach. Thanks for coming. So, how Zach's going to follow on the list now? Okay, Zach, so, is he Kiwi? Huh?
He's read.
Huh?
He's read more than I have.
Okay. So if someone wants something material, then Krishna may give, but in such a way they never asked before. So this is Krishna's mercy. One time the Yudhisthira Maharaj went to Krishna. Oh Krishna, I want some benedictions from you. Then Krishna was astonished because devotee never ask for anything. They don't put pressure on Krishna. Give me this, give me that. But Krishna said, okay, what do you want? I want to become king of the whole earth planet. I want to be the wealthiest man in the world. And I want to marry the most beautiful woman in the world. Who is the most beautiful woman in the world at that time? Draupadi. Guru Maharaj says, Miss Universe. So Krishna smiled. Okay, you want? I give you. Why you want these things? Then Yudhisthira said, oh Krishna, people fear to worship you. Because they think if I worship Krishna, I lose everything. But I want to show, no, if you worship Krishna, you get everything. So to encourage people, Yudhisthira asked for that benediction. No? So, this is Krishna's mercy. Maybe he not give us what we want, but he always give us what we need. That is his mercy. So Bhagavatam tells the story. It was one king, his name was Chitraketu. Chitraketu. Chitra means picture. Means in his mind, in his heart, he has so many desires, so many things he wants. Oh, happy customer. So, he married, could not have a child. So, he not threw the first wife, but he married again, could not have a child. Third time the charm, right, Tamal? He could not have a child. So this is Satyuga. Now we cannot imagine this now. No? 10 million wives he had, imagine. Zach, imagine how grey his hair was. 10 million wives. But he could not get a child. No? That is karma, no? All is there. The result of our activities. No? What you will get that. Not one drop more, not one drop less. So of course he was very sad, very depressed, no? Frustrated. That time, the great sage, Augusta Rishi. Augusta, was it? Augusta Rishi. I forget. Maybe it's part of it. No, Augusta Rishi. I cannot remember. Please forgive me. Have a quick look. No, don't worry about it. Augusta Rishi. He came, and the king had so much culture. Oh, Maharaj, welcome, come. Previously, kings would do that. They would give their whole kingdom. When the sadhus would come, this is yours. And the sadhu would say, okay, I accept, but I give it back to you. But according to my instructions, you should run everything. Because the sadhus, that time, the Brahmins have no material desire. So their instructions are only for benefit of everyone. When Gurudev opened Ananda Dham, remember Ananda Dham? Huge property in Vrindavan, enormous. And this man asked Gurudev, the owner asked Gurudev to come for the opening ceremony. And he said like that, Gurudev, this all I give to you. And I remember Gurudev said, okay, I'll take it. Should have seen his face. It's like, I give the credit card, but the PIN number I keep for myself. So anyway, but the king Chitraketu was very polite, very humble. So so much respect he gave Augusta Rishi. Then he was king, but sitting at the feet of the sadhu. Then Augusta Rishi said, King, you seem not to be happy. Why not? Are your wives not fulfilling your desires? Are the citizens not paying taxes? The general reason why a king would be unhappy? Is some enemy giving you trouble? No. Tell me the cause of your unhappiness. Then king said, oh, Maharaj, you know everything, past, present, and the future. There is nothing unknown to you. But still, for my benefit, you are asking. No? We should not think Gurudev knows everything, no need to tell him. No? For our benefit, we should reveal our hearts. So king was not duplicitous. So he said, in the same way, imagine someone starving to death and you gave him a flower garland. Would he be happy? A man dying of thirst and you put some sandalwood paste on his forehead. Would he be happy? So in the same way, I can find no happiness from my wives, from my wealth, from all my cows and animals, from my armies, from my position. I find no happiness at all because I have no son. It says, Putra hinam gara sunyam. Chanaka Pandit of all people. So that house without a son is like an empty house. What's the use in having house and wife if no children? I can find no happiness at all. I have no son. I have no child. So king had many desires. So he asked, I know that the saintly person has Krishna. Who has Krishna, what's impossible for them? Nothing. So please give me a son. Please give me a son. Krishna listens to you. You carry Krishna in your heart. No? Krishna said, Tuma, Krishna tite paro, Tumara sakate ache. You can give Krishna, therefore, someone who can give Krishna, what's the difficulty to give a son? So again and again he asked, I want a son, I want a son, fulfill my desire. And Augusta Rishi could see he cannot hear any instruction, he has too much wax in the ear. Too much wax, too many desire. Who can follow this path of devotion? Someone who has too much attachment can never follow. And someone who has too much detachment also cannot follow. Because we come for Krishna's service, therefore we have to care how is Tulsi. Did we make the offering to Krishna? Understand? So too much detachment, that person cannot do devotion also. One time our Gurudev's Gurudev was in Mathura actually. Then someone asked him, Gurudev, why only the middle class are doing bhakti, devotion, the middle class? We do not see very wealthy people come, we do not see the, what you call them in New Zealand? The bums? I don't know what they call them. The very poor and the very rich are not coming, only middle class. Why? So Bhakti Pragyan Kesava, there was one guy in the back, he called him, please come here, sir. So he came. That guy was like a bum, you know. No home, no nothing. So Param Gurudev asked him, sir, do you have any family? Where are you going tomorrow?
Bit of illumination.
Oh. Do you have any family? No, sir, no family. Wife, children? No, sir. I have nothing I can call my own. You have any house? No. So Param Gurudev said to him, come, live with us. We'll give you a room. We'll give you 3 meals a day. We'll give you clothes, we'll give you medicine, whatever you need, we'll take care. Only one rule, an hour in the morning and an hour in the evening, you should join with everyone chanting Sankirtan, chanting Harinam. Then that man, he got up quickly, I'm very busy, I cannot, I have many things to do, and he ran out. Then Param Guru said, he is too detached to do devotion. No, because he's not any responsibility, no. He cannot accept that. Because he's used to just living completely free and independently. And devotion means many responsibilities, no. Many things you have to do. So king had too much wax, too much attachment. No? The Mayavadis and personalists, too much detachment. So they also cannot do devotion. But who is middle, have attachment, but not too much. That person can practice devotion. So Augusta Rishi could understand he cannot hear anything, too much material attachment. Okay, he said, I will give you a son, but that son will give you great happiness and great suffering. And what does that mean? He not explained. He just disappeared. So Chitraketu had 10 million wives. The oldest one, her name was it Kritaduti? If I'm not mistaken, Kritaduti. She became pregnant by the blessing of the saint. So just like the moon gradually became full, so also she gradually became more full. She became more and more happy because child is there. No? Then child was born, and baby was given the name Sokahash. Sokahash. Sok means happiness. Harsha means sadness. Sokahash. So imagine after 10 million wives, and he finally get a son, imagine how happy the king became, like a mad person. So happy. He gave, and all the affection before he was sharing amongst the 10 million, he gave all his affection to the one wife who gave a child. So the other 9,999,999, they felt neglected, sad, angry. They talked amongst themselves. They also became mad. How we can have a son? How we can have a son? But if it's not there, it will not happen. So gradually they began talking amongst themselves. We are worse off than the maidservants in the palace, because at least the king talks with them. Hey, can you clean this, bring this, do that? But the king never looks at us, the king never talks at us. What's the cause of our neglect? The cause of our neglect is little chumps here. Sokahash. So their minds became, Krishna says in Gita, no? From too much thinking of something comes attachment. When attachment becomes very strong, then comes, especially when desire is not fulfilled, you have a black eye. Little trouble at home? No? When desire is not fulfilled, then comes anger. And when too much anger, you cannot remember anymore what is proper, what is not proper, what is eternal, what is temporary, what is pure, what is impure, what is beneficial, what is inauspicious. You forget everything. So the wives, too much anger, then madness, forgetfulness. So they poisoned the child. They put some poison in his milk. Gave here. No. Rule number 1, don't take anything from the stepmom. She drank. The child drank and died. In the morning, when the nursemaid came to wake the baby, he saw his eyes were in the back of his head. Some foam was there, his face was blue. So she screamed, "Alas, I am also killed." Means when the child's dead, who are they going to blame? Alas, I am also killed. She began to weep. Then word spread. The mother came running. When she saw her dead child, her dead son, she became like a mad person. "Oh, my dear son," holding the dead body. "Oh, my dear son, wake up. Please wake. Sun has risen. Get up. You have slept a long time. You must be hungry. Please drink my milk. Your friends are waiting for you." So she began speaking like a mad person. Sometimes you see in funerals, or too much attachment, person becomes mad. So this news spread because the nursemaid is crying, the queen is crying, all the maidservants were crying. The guards began crying, everyone began weeping. The king came, he became like a mad person. He would stand up, then fall unconscious. Again he would get to consciousness. Again he would fall unconscious. Like a banana tree cut by a storm. Again and again. He would walk and fall unconscious on the ground. So he began crying. It said like a kurari bird. You know these storks in India, the Siberian storks? They only have one mate for life. And when one dies, the other one also dies. So these are called kuraris. So he began crying like a kurari. My son, my son. At that time everyone was crying. The king, the queen, the servants of the palace, the ministers, the citizens, all became absorbed in the ocean of lamentation. Fun story this one, isn't it? That time Augusta Rishi came, the same Augusta Rishi. But the king could not recognize him because so much mad, so much upset. So Augusta Rishi said, "King, what relation you have with that dead body? And what relation that dead body has with you? Was that relation true in the past? Is it true now? Is it true in the future? No. One soul has no permanent relationship with another soul. No. These are like, all souls are like grains of sand in a flood. The river's flowing, grain of sand, 2 grains of sand are pushed together for how long? 1 second, 2 seconds? Then again the force of the river separates them. So by force of providence, the time factor, souls come together and meet. Hello, Mommy. Hello, Prahlad. The next minute, separated. Husband and wife, father and son, friends, relatives. They meet for a second and again separated, Vanamali. So, why you are so much lamenting for your son? No, you should know that we come to this body for just a temporary time. And everything we are experiencing, this is also temporary. Like this second that we are now having will never be repeated. Everything is changing at every moment. So one soul, is he lost? So one soul never has any permanent relation with another soul. All souls, he gave the example like guests in a hotel. We come. Can you close that? Just like someone comes, I fly into Christchurch and I get a hotel for the night. But my next flight is to USA or something. I'm staying in the hotel one night. Then imagine I start changing the carpet, painting the walls, getting a new TV. That is foolishness, because only staying for one night. So how long will we be in this body, Zach? How long? Not believe me, I won't have to kick the bucket. 5 years, 10 years, 50 years, 100 years. No one's going to be here in 100 years, except tomorrow. So, how long we'll be in this body that is temporary? Everyone have to move on. So in this way, Augusta Rishi gave so much Atma Tattva, knowledge of the soul. Many examples he gave, like sand in the river, like, what's it called? Travelers who are staying in a hotel. Like a piece of gold. That example he also gave. These days no one uses gold, but I go to the dairy, I buy chocolate ice cream for $5. My $5 was, someone gave me in Australia, I get $5. That $5 comes to me for a short time, then it goes to the dairy guy. He pays his electricity bill with this. So this $5 goes from one person to the next, to the next. Where is he? Hey! Sit. We're just talking Chitraketu. Bhagavan doesn't give you what you want, he gives you what you need. Unfortunately. So, many examples Augusta Rishi gave. This $5, this piece of gold, goes to who? It goes to many persons, but no one actually owns it. Just for some temporary time. That time, Augusta Rishi came with Narad Muni. Then Narad Muni, he touched the dead boy. No. Parvat Rishi, touched the dead boy. Oh my dear boy, Sokaharsh, come back to life. Come, speak with your friends, your mother is weeping. Enjoy the wealth, the property of your father. Again come. So by the touch of Parvat Rishi, again the boy came to life. And what did he say? Who is my father? Classic Hare Krishna words. Who is my father? Who is my mother? I cannot remember. This is mother and father only for one life. And when this body is finished, that relationship is also finished. So Sakala Janma Mata Pitta Sabipai Guru Krishna Mila Bajai Hilai. Vrindavan Das Thakur says, every birth we get a mother and father. But every birth we do not get Guru and Krishna. So the boy said, who is mother and father? I cannot remember. When this body is finished, that relation is also finished. And many instructions that boy gave. High class instructions, like from a perfected soul. So Guru Maharaj would explain what happened. Parvat Rishi came. He could see Chitraketu could not have any son. It was there in his karma. Impossible. So, Parvat Rishi arranged that he himself would take birth as the son of Chitraketu. By his mystic power, he expanded himself into the womb of Chitraketu's wife. Right? He arranged for himself to take birth. He arranged to stay 5 years as the dutiful son. Then he himself arranged himself to be poisoned by the stepmothers. Then he himself came and revived himself so that he could speak spiritual knowledge to Chitraketu Maharaj. How much trouble Guru goes for our deliverance. So Saraswati Thakur said, I'm requesting each soft-hearted member of the Gaudiya Math, he said at that time. Prabhupada said, I'm requesting every soft-hearted member of the Gaudiya Math to give 200 gallons of blood just to take one soul out of illusion. He said like that. So the boy spoke all spiritual knowledge, then died again. Then hearing these words, both from Pardavat Rishi and also from his own son, then all his ignorance was washed away. Like elephant is covered in mud but becomes clean by taking bath. So wiping his face, he asked, who are you two? Means he could not even remember Pardavat Rishi, who gave him the son. So much he was absorbed in suffering. What to speak of Narad Rishi, which maybe he'd never met. Who are you two? I cannot recognize you. Then the king, he was king of the whole earth planet, he said, I am like a village animal. Especially 2 village animals are famous. What are they, Tamal, for 10 bhakti points? The pig and the dog. Yeah, every village had hundreds of pigs and dogs. These are stool eaters. Right. I used to like dogs till I went to India. Quickly gave that one up. 2 animals especially eat stool, pig and dog. That's why in India no one eats pork. So King Chitraketu said, I am like a village animal. Means I am like pig or dog. What I'm doing whole life, just eating stool, material enjoyment. No, therefore, please open my eyes with torchlight of knowledge, action. Agyan Timarandasya. Like this verse, little variation he prayed. Who are you? I cannot recognize you. I heard liberated souls, the Vaishnavas, disguise themselves as madmen and wander the earth. But who are you two? Are you the 4 Kumars? Many, many names. Are you Devala? Are you Asit? Are you Devas? Are you what's his name? Durvasa? Many, many names, many, many sadhus. But he also said Pardavat and Narad Muni. So he knew the famous Vaishnavas. Please give me mercy, please help me. I do not know what to do or what not to do. So Pardavat Rishi said, I am Pardavat Rishi. By my grace you first attained a son. And this is the well-known son of Lord Brahma, the famous Devashi Narad. O king, you are a great person, great personality. You have just been a little bit eclipsed by ignorance. No? Like the sun and moon become eclipsed, but just for a short time. Your intelligence has become eclipsed, but come out, rise from this ignorance. So Narad Muni gave him mantra. Right? So even though Pardavat Rishi did all the work, Narad Rishi gave him mantra and said, you will see the Supreme Lord in 6 days. So Pardavat Rishi saw the Supreme Lord, Sankarshan, after 6 days. Why, Tamal? How many years we're chanting? Seen Bhagavan yet? Why not? We have many years chanting, no Bhagavan's darshan. But Chitraketu saw in 6 days. One reason, like who wrote Krishna Karnamrita, Bilva Mangal Thakur. Bilva Mangal was fully absorbed in material illusion, but his illusion was one-pointed. Right? He only fully absorbed in Chintamani. He was not looking here and there. He had so much love for Chintamani, he forgot everything else in this creation. Therefore, this type of nishta, faith, even though it's material, can attract the mercy of Krishna. Because what does Krishna want at the end of the day? He wants 100% our attention, our love. So Jiva Goswami said, if someone can fully be absorbed, even a material thing, one-pointed for 6 months or something, they can attract Krishna's mercy. Like Bilvamanga was not looking here and there. He was fully fixed at this one Maya. So Chitraketu, he was fully absorbed in illusion, but fully absorbed in one thing, my son. So this attracted Krishna's mercy. Like one time Gurudev said, if really we love Gurudev with whole heart, full heart and soul, this will attract Krishna. Because Krishna will think, why is not loving me like that? So on the stage of Raganuga Bhajan, by absorption in Gurudev, then all anarthas are destroyed, then Krishna just transfers that to himself. That is Raganuga Bhajan. So Bilvamangal, you see the example of Bilvamangal. You see also this example of Chitraketu. Fully absorbed in one thing, therefore Krishna could easily attract his full attention. Therefore in 6 days, he had darshan of Bhagavan. How we are chanting, We're chanting what rubbish we are thinking when we chant, If somebody could put a cord to our brain and we had a video screen above us and we chanted, people could look what we're thinking, no one would talk to us. How much rubbish we are thinking when we chant. But Chitraketu was not like that. With full absorption, in 6 days he achieved darshan of Lord Sankarshan. That is like Balaram's expansion, Sankarshan. So, you see, we were talking the other night, the first night we were here, remember Tamal? Some say Guru should be only in one ras, or Guru can only give, all devotees should be only in Manjari Bhav, for example. But we see this is not the fact, because Narad Muni, same Guru, he have many, many different disciples who have many, many different relationships to Bhagavan. Like one disciple of Narad, that is Dhruva. Dhruva loves, his affection came towards Lord Vishnu, Narayan. Another disciple of Narad is Prahlad Maharaj, who developed affection for Nrsingadev. Another devotee is who wrote Ramayan, what's his name? Valmiki. But his affection came towards Ram. Same Guru. But one disciple developed this relation with Bhagavan, another disciple developed this relation. And like Purnamasi, also a disciple of Narad, she developed affection for Radha Krishna. Chitraketu, he developed affection for Sankarshan. Same Guru, same mercy, same Harikatha, everything same. Narad Muni had another disciple, Suvarna Sen, he developed affection for Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Radha Krishna. He took mantra from Narad. So, our relation with Bhagavan does not depend on Guru's relation with Bhagavan. Every disciple have his own unique relationship. So, Chitraketu, he have eternal relation towards Sankarshan, that awaken his heart. Like it's described in Garga Samhita, when Lord Anantashesh, so handsome, so sweet. So Anantashesh is one huge, like celestial snake, one incarnation of God. He keep the universes on the top of each head, and he have millions and millions of heads. This hat falls down. Why the whole universe is not falling from out of creation? Because it's kept there by the power of Sankarshan. Some say gravity, but that is, whatever it is, that's Sankarshan's potency. So, in the subterranean region, there are also many snakes. They had daughters. So when they saw the beauty of Sankarshan, the king of snakes, they thought, I want him as my husband. Then Sankarshan blessed them. No, not possible in this form. So all those Nagkanyas, the daughters of the snakes from the celestial regions, they took birth as Braja Gopis, and they developed love towards Balaram. That relationship was there. Anyhow, whatever it may be, Chitraketu achieved complete perfection. Then he took birth as a Gandharva. Generally, devotees should not have any desire. But sometimes if devotee have some desire, this is also not against devotion. Maybe devotee want to build a big temple. Why? For Krishna's service. Some devotee want to translate or publish many books. Then Krishna also gives some facility. So Chitraketu, he took birth as a Gandharva. And normally Gandharvas, these are the celestial planets. Normally surrounded by women and enjoyment, but he was not like that. He was detached, but always, because Gandharvas can sing very sweetly. So he passed his time in doing Krishna Kirtan. But the problem in the celestial planets, there's no sadhu sang, no saintly association. Right? Many people want to become demigods because they enjoy so long lifespan and so much material pleasure. But there is no sadhu sangha there, no harikatha on celestial planets. So Chitraketu was thinking, how can I get association of devotees? Where can I hear about Krishna? Right? This is the main qualification of someone who wants to really practice spiritual life. They should have greed to hear. Like Prabhupada said about himself, right? His Gurudev Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was doing Brajmanu Purikram. Then they came to Sheshai, one place, Sheshai. There was thousands of footprints of Krishna and Balaram there. Because Krishna played his flute, then all the rocks melted. So when Krishna walked, you can see, Zach, you're coming to Vrindavan? When you're coming? Try. There you can see the footprints of Krishna and Balaram and the rocks everywhere. Many footprints of cows, deer. Because when Krishna played his flute, all the rocks melted in ecstasy. So everyone, all the pilgrims were going to see the footprints in the rock. But no, Prabhupada, that time he was not initiated, Abhay Charan. He thought, no, I will listen to Gurudev. Let Gurudev speak something. Then Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur appointed him. Yes, I will give him initiation. No, he likes to hear, he does not run away. So Prabhupada said about himself, that was my qualification. No? I like to hear. No? So this taste for hearing about Krishna, this is eternal. No? In the stage of practice, what are we doing day and night? Hearing about Krishna, speaking about Krishna. So even in the stage of perfection, that quality will always be there, like the gopis. They're the topmost liberated souls. What the gopis are doing day and night? Hearing about Krishna, speaking about Krishna. Like in Brahma Gita, Radharani is complaining about Krishna. Even she's so much angry with Krishna, she's not saying his name. She's saying that person who is not white. Who is that? Krishna. Krishna is black, right? So who's the non-white person? Don't say his name, but that's Krishna. Radharani is speaking so badly about non-white persons. Krishna is like that. I know. This is not the fault of Krishna because all non-white persons are like that. There was another non-white person. His name was Ram. He took sannyas but went to the forest with his wife. What a nonsense. One lady was attracted by his beauty. She said, I want to marry you. What did that non-white person do? Could have said no. But no, what did he do? Cut off his nose, her nose and ears. So non-white persons are very cruel, very nonsense. So Radharani criticizing all the incarnations of Krishna. There was another non-white person. His name was Barman. What did he say to his own devotee who surrendered everything to him? Just give me 3 steps of land. And what did that non-white person do? Took the whole universe from him by cheating. So who does that to his own devotee? What to speak of doing that to us? Radharani is speaking so badly about Krishna and all Krishna's incarnations. Then some devotee may say, if Krishna is so bad, why are you always talking about him? Then Radharani says, that is the problem. We can give up Krishna, but we cannot give up topics of Krishna. That is the problem. Day and night. We can give up everything else, but we cannot give up that nectar of hearing about Krishna and speaking about Krishna. So this is main quality of devotee, who likes to hear and likes to speak. But still, hearing is more important. Hearing is more important. So, because many people speak, but for their own glorification. But here I don't have that problem. So, sometimes Madhusudana Maharaj says, speaker have many problems because he have to think of many things. But person hearing, they have no problem. They just hearing, they have no tension, no problem at all. So Chitraketu thinking, where can I hear about Krishna? In heaven is no, heavenly planets, there is no topics of Krishna. So he knows one person is always speaking Krishna Katha. Who is that? Mahadev, Shiva. So Shiva has his own abode, Kailash. So he went there to Kailash to hear Shiva speak Krishna Katha. Lord Shiva knows so much Harikatha. Why? Because his guru is Anantashesh. With thousands of mouths he's speaking all Krishna's name, form, qualities and activities. Guru Maharaj said, one head speaking Ram Katha, another head Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela. Another one, Nityananda's qualities. Another one, Advaita's qualities. Another one, Vamana. Another one, Nrsingadev. So, Lord Shiva hearing all this. That's why Shiva always wears snakes on his body and neck. Why? This is his Guru. Shiva saying, Guru have all right for my whole body. Shiva says like that. No? So Shiva always speaking about Krishna. So Chitraketu went there. And they're like God brothers because they're both worshipping Anantashesh. And God brothers means too much friendly relation. No? So Chitraketu went there, and what did he see? Shiva was buck naked, as they say. Completely naked. And who was sitting on his lap? Parvati. Parvati means Maya, the material energy. No? But in a completely undisturbed manner, with his wife on his lap, he was speaking about Krishna's qualities. So Chitraketu saw this and laughed. Ah. Not in a bad way, but he laughing in a good way. Just see how great is Shiva. He said, an ordinary man embraces his wife in a solitary place where no one can see. But Shiva's doing it in front of everyone where everyone can see. But still he remains unaffected. It means Shiva have no lust, no transformation. Even though the most beautiful woman in the creation, illusion personified, the material energy Durga, is on his lap, he's completely unaffected. He's just speaking about Krishna. No lust, no disturbance of the mind. So Chitraketu saw that and he laughed. Means only Shiva can do that, no one else can do that. So with this, actually he was glorifying Shiva by laughing at him. Not laughing at him, but just laughing. So Shiva also smiled because he could understand the mind, the heart of Chitraketu. So he not became angry. But Parvati, no? Maya, Vishnu Maya. How many names of Maya are there? Gopal. 8 main names are there. No? That is Navaratri. So, she became angry. No? Because Shiva is her guru, husband, but main thing is guru. No? And someone criticizes guru when you don't become angry, that means you have no love for guru. Right, Gopal, if I criticize your wife, how would you feel? Not happy, right? If you didn't become angry, that means you don't love your wife, for example. So if someone blasphemes Gurudev, blasphemes Vaishnav, blasphemes Bhagavan, and we don't become angry, this means you have no love for them. So generally, anger is a fault, but sometimes it can also be used for Krishna's service. You know? Sometimes it can be used. Like Hanuman, you know, when Ravan stole Sita, how angry he became. He destroyed burnt the whole of Lanka to ashes. There's Katha. One time, one man was speaking Ram Katha, and it said whenever anyone speaks Ram Katha, Hanuman always comes there in disguise to hear. Always. So this man was speaking when Hanuman went to find Sita. Remember, he jumped across the ocean to find where is Sita. Hanuman was looking everywhere, and Ravan had 100,000 wives. So Hanuman was looking in each room. And there was many ladies like that. Hanuman is brahmachari. Why brahmachari is looking at like ladies when they're sleeping? But because he was doing for the service of Ram, there was no lust in him. So he was looking everywhere. Finally he met Vivasan. Vivasan told him, you go this garden, you look there. So when Hanuman went there, he saw Sita. Ramayana describes she was thin like the crescent moon because 11 months she not ate anything, not drank anything, not took bath, no shower, no changing cloth. Because everything she had only for Ram's pleasure. And Ram is not there, then who she eat for, who she drink for, who she take bath for. So when Hanuman saw her like that, Hanuman became very angry. So this speaker was speaking all these things. Then Hanuman went to the garden, he looked. This garden of Ravan has so many nice flowers. Red, yellow, purple, orange, white, green, like this. Then Hanuman was there, then Hanuman put up his hand. These are not true. When Hanuman went there, he saw in the whole garden was only one flower that was red. Then the speaker said, oh Hanuman, I know, when you went there you were so angry, your eyes become red, you just see everything red. So, anger is pure. If we use anger again in the proper way, that anger always increased devotion, it never destroyed devotion. So anger can also be used, but used in a proper way. Those who blaspheme Hari, Guru and Vaishnav, if we become angry against them, this is no fault. This will protect devotion, increase devotion. Understand, Zach? Yeah, right. Just like if I said bad things about your wife, how would you feel? Angry. This is a symptom of affection, so it's not considered a fault. Oh, right, of course. Just general idea. No? So, Parvati became angry because in front of everyone you were criticizing my husband, my guru, actually. So Shiva became angry because he could understand, but Parvati became very angry. Who you think you are? No, you are a new guy. What are you doing? That can help. You are a new person because just he became liberated a little time ago. You are a new guy. No? And now you think you're so great, you are criticizing the Guru of the three worlds, Lord Shiva. But other persons who are so much more senior to you, they have not said anything. Lord Brahma has not said anything. No? 4 Kumaras have not said anything. No? The protectors of all religion, they have not said anything. But this new fellow, Chitraketu, just became liberated. And now he is the Guru of everyone, chastising everyone with the rod of punishment in his hand. Who this guy thinks he is? I think he is not a devotee, he is a demon. No? Because he's finding faults with Vaishnavas. Therefore she said, I curse you, take birth as a demon. So when she said that, Chitraketu was so powerful he could have cursed her back. But he did not say anything. He got off his aeroplane. He did pranams to her. Oh, mother, I not made offense. No? And if you think I made offense, I ask you, please forgive me for that also. So very humble. No? Problem is, we always say, I'm very fallen, Peru. And if someone says you are fallen, right, what? I'm a rascal, I'm the lowest of all. And someone actually says you're a rascal, we become angry. No? So this is mood of high-class soul. Tranadapi sunichena torori vasuhishnana amanena manadena kirtanya sadhari. 4 qualities we should have if we want to chant the holy name. No? More tolerant than a tree, more humble than a blade of grass, give all respect to others, and don't demand respect for oneself. When he has these 4 qualities, he can chant the name of Krishna. There's one Bhaman Goswami Maharaj said, I used to think I could become a devotee. I used to think I am a devotee, I can become a devotee. But every time that thought came in my mind, there was a big brick wall impeding my progress. What was that brick wall? This verse. Am I a devotee? Am I having these qualities? No, but that much we have love of Krishna, that much these qualities will automatically come in the heart. You know? So, Chitraketu is so humble. Even though he is perfected soul, still, he's not thinking, I am the greatest, I am Guru of everyone. So very humbly, he spoke like this. I have not made offense, mother, but if you think I have made offense, then you please forgive me also. But Chitraketu could have cursed her back, he was so powerful, but he did not. Then he said, anyway, what is a curse and what is a blessing? What is happiness? What is distress? What is gain? What is loss? These are all like waves on an ocean. Krishna says in Gita, no? Sitosne sukha dukkha. Heat and cold come. The non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress are like seasons. What is happiness and distress? What is distress? Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says in hot season, cold water give happiness. But in cold season, hot water give happiness. So really, what is happiness and what is distress? No. These are all temporary, like waves on an ocean. So, your curse is neither the cause of happiness or distress. No. what is the cause of all happiness and distress? The mind. So I know you cannot give me pain, you cannot bless me, you cannot curse me, this is all karma. And how I react, that is the mind. If mind is controlled, everything gives happiness. And mind is uncontrolled, everything gives distress. So very humbly, he accepted the curse, he bowed, and he went away. And then Shiva was watching, and he said to Devi, because Parvati was astonished, you know, because especially in the heavenly planets, even there's also so much envy, so much fear. Like many times we hear Indra become envious. If someone do 100 yajnas, he becomes Indra. How many times Indra tried to disturb someone? So even the heavenly planets, there's envy, lust, fear. The demons sometimes capture the celestial planets, so fear is there. Death is also there even in the heavenly planets. So Parvati never seen anyone completely free from all these things, so she became astonished. Then Shiva smiled. Devi, why are you astonished? Now for the first time you are seeing the glories of the devotees of Vishnu. Then Shiva spoke. No, what is that? For the Vaishnava, Narayana Parasarvajna Kutaschina Bibiti Swarga Upavarga Nara Keshu Tulyata Samadashna. For those who have given their minds and hearts fully to Narayan, no, for them happiness, hell and liberation are the same. They do not fear any condition. No. The Vaishnavas are called fearless. No, why? A devotee should not go to heaven, celestial heaven, temporary heaven. But if they do go, like Chitraketu, what they do there? Vanamali? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare. Devotees should not go to hell. But, for argument's sake, if they do, what they'll do? Hare Krishna, Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Even there they remember Krishna. They're not bewildered by happiness, they're not bewildered by distress, and if they get liberation, what they'll do there is sort of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Ram. So Lord Shiva said, for the Vaishnava who have given their minds to Lord Narayan, for them heaven, hell and liberation are the same. They have no fear of any condition. Madhusudama says, really the only place where there's complete fearlessness, that is the feet of Krishna. Because Krishna is the form of prema, the form of happiness. So one who takes shelter of him, there is no question of fear. Like today I was a little reading. I want to speak a little bit about it. Then one day Krishna came and he saw his mother packing one big box full of jewels and full of incense and different fragrances and bangles and jewelry and many nice things. Then Krishna asked, what's in the box? Who's that for? Is it for me? Is it for Balaram? Then Mother said, no. Mother Yasoda said, I've got an even bigger box than this for you and Balaram, with better things in it. This is for one very special girl. No? She is the embodiment of all divine, saintly qualities. Brahma also created women with also many good, wonderful qualities. Like Mother Yasoda saying, like woman's main qualities like shyness, chastity, affection. Right? When we're suffering, who we go to? Brother or sister? Sister, mother. So Brahma has created many, many feminine qualities, like all these good things. And like the sum total of all these qualities is in one girl. She is the daughter of Vrishabhanu Maharaj. Her name is Radhika. So when Krishna heard the name of Radhika, all his hairs of his body stand on end, but he didn't cover himself by his cloth like one. Oh, because Radharani doing so much seva, everyone in Gokul love her so much, she's coming here every day to cook. Then I want to give some gift, some affection for. Out of affection, I want to send her some gift. So her husband, Abhimanyu, is coming very soon. So he will take this box by his own hand. He will take this too. Yavat. At that time, one Saki came in and said, oh, Yasode, some goldsmiths have come. 2 goldsmiths. They're going to make some bangles and crowns for Krishna and Balaram. So Mother Yasoda, very busy, she went to talk to the goldsmiths to design some jewelry for Krishna and Balaram. So Krishna calls Sudama and the others, they emptied the box. Everything they took out. And Krishna gave all this to Dhanishta, his cousin's sister. You take this to Radhika. Then Krishna himself went in the box and Subal and Madhumangal locked him in there. So then Radharani's husband came. Then Madhya Yasoda said, this box contains some very precious jewels. Make sure Radharani ornaments herself with these, then she'll become very happy. So Madhumangal, he took this box, and inside is Krishna. No? So Krishna, normally you'd think this would be very heavy and difficult for someone to carry someone on their head. But Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, because Krishna is the embodiment of bliss and ecstasy, Abhimanyu, when he's carrying Krishna, he felt so much happiness. He felt no difficulty at all. Tears were pouring from his eyes. He felt so much bliss. He couldn't understand why I'm feeling so joyful, so wonderful. And Krishna was inside the box laughing so much. Abhimanyu was carrying me to his own wife. He didn't know Krishna was hiding inside. Anyway, just saying, so even Abhimanyu, these are like hate Krishna. But even some contact with him, how much they feel bliss, how much they feel happiness. So even though carrying Krishna on his head, he felt no disturbance at all. He felt one type of ecstasy. All this had a point. What was the point? I can't remember. Anyway. So Shiva said, now you have seen the glories of the devotees of Bhagavan. And any condition they never saw, in all condition for them is the same. They have complete fearlessness. So Chitraketu, maybe another night we can hear, Chitraketu took birth as a demon, but his devotion was not affected. Because really he had not made any Vaishnava aparad. He had not made any offense. So he experienced a change of body, some degradation by karma, but his bhakti was not checked. So maybe Saturday or Sunday or something we can little speak about Chitraketu's prayers now. Okay, so Rup Manjari, ready? Round 4? No, I mean, again, you want the same thing?
What do you mean repeat?
That's why we see when devotees go to Maya, how much special suffering Krishna gives them. Many times we see someone who, I've had enough, I'll go and enjoy life. Krishna gives them some special dose. That is grace of Krishna. That is mercy of Krishna. Tika. Are there any questions from anyone? Anything? Anyone? No? Yes, Yasoda.
You talked about Guru Thakur and his focus. Very much appreciated. But there was one thing that really changed his focus, wasn't it? And he was very focused, and then somehow his focus got switched. That personality must be like a weird.
Chintamani, the prostitute. You know the story, right? Yeah. Actually, Bilva Mangal's last life. So Bilva Mangal, got to tell the people, no, he so much loved this prostitute lady, Chintamani. But she was also not an ordinary lady, no? But he had so much infatuation for her. So on the day of his own father's funeral, he not went to the funeral, he went to the lady, Chintamani. Even in New Zealand, you don't turn up to your own father's funeral, everyone will criticize you, no? Huh? Don't want to give Tamal any ideas. Anyhow, but he not properly went for the funeral. So this so much, he not care about reputation, name or fame, nothing. So he was free from all that. Then how to cross the river? It was in flood. He saw one dead body. You know, when people die, they blow it up with gas. So this dead body became like a surfboard, like an inner tube. An inner tube, a donut. So he used the dead body to cross the river. Then when he came to the house, so heavy rain, they could not hear him knocking. How to cross the wall? There was a huge carpet snake or something. He grabbed it and pulled himself up. And when he fell down very loudly, he made some noise, he was knocked unconscious. So when the lady saw him, she knew. Today is father's funeral, she knew. You are not at your father's funeral, how you crossed the river? She could understand. Then she said, you are such a fool. If you had one drop of the attachment for this body, that if you had this 1% of the same attachment you have for this body of stool and urine, if you developed a fraction of that attachment to Krishna, your life would have been perfect. So her words were like a spear, and that awoken his previous spiritual practice. It said last life he was sannyasi, it's described. And he had thousands of disciples. So he was always in tension. So many disciples, how will I feed them? Where's the next feast? How am I going to get this donation? He was always, not temple president, but he had that type of, like, where I'm going to get money, where's it going to come from? So again and again he went to the king for his donation. At the end of the day, how many times you can give to the same person? So the king became sick of him. Right? So the king refused him donation. I did not give any more. Some excuse he made, no? So Bilvamanga was, how am I going to get money? How am I going to get money? So the king had one daughter, and she died. So Bilvamanga was invited to the funeral. So some people are not cremated. Like who commit suicide, those persons are not cremated. Who die of snake bite, those persons are not cremated. They put them in the river. Visarja, right? They just put them in the ocean or the river. Huh? These are like one special death, especially suicide. This is like so much inauspicious. When I was in Mayapur, one poor guy hanged himself, and they were telling me they didn't cremate, but in the middle of the night, the family took him to the Ganga and chucked him in with some rocks on him. Anyway, so like snake bite, suicide, and young unmarried girl, this person also not cremated, especially princess. So she was buried. And when she was buried with all her wealth, all her jewels and earrings. So Bilvamanga went to the funeral. And he saw. So what did he do? He came in the middle of the night with no danda but a spade. He started digging up the dead body of the girl. Then he went to reach to take the jewels off her hand, but the ghost of the girl was still there. And she said, what you're doing? You are sannyasi. Why are you touching me? This is great sin. No? So now I'm implicated in that sin, because sannyasi cannot, Maharaj said, sannyasi catches the hand of girl, he's lost his sannyas. Just by holding the hand of a girl, what to speak of. So the ghost said, you touching me, that means I am also now implicated in like bad, sinful activity. And you also fall down from sannyas by touching me. So next life, Bilvamanga took birth in a Brahmin family, but as a woman hunter. And that poor girl, can't really blame her, right? She was dead, but anyway. She took birth as the prostitute, Chintamani. But their spiritual, her devotion that she had, her purity was still there, but she became a prostitute by some circumstance. Sometimes life is like that. And Bilvamanga's spiritual advancement was still there, but also became covered by that like mistake. So when she spoke those words, her words awoken his spiritual advancement from his last life. That's how he could just walk away from everything. No? So, yes, interesting stories, no? Bilvamanga. What was the question anyway? Was that it?
It's about, she's already changed his focus, so sometimes you can teach you or somebody that seems quite insignificant, just by having some exchange with them, some previous situation where I would have changed direction.
Change direction. It happens sometime like that, no? So Bilvamanga, then he renounced everything. I'm going to Vrindavan. You know the story, everyone has heard, but it's very sweet, no? He left everything, going to Vrindavan, and on the way there he saw one lady taking bath, like the Hindi movies, the wet t-shirt, the wet sari. So she was taking bath with all her clothes on, and her sari was sticking to her body. And he still had this habit of attraction to women. So he followed her home. The lady went home, young lady. She said to her husband, some guy, some sadhu is following me from the bathing place. And the husband was simple. A sadhu has come, go and ask, how can we serve you? So the young lady was also very simple. Maharaj, what do you want? Whatever you want, I'll give you. How can we serve you? Bilvamanga was not thinking of rice, dal, subject. He had some other plan in mind. But when she spoke that, oh, Maharaj, you are sadhu, how can we serve you? Then again he's in, what are we doing? You know? Same thing. And so much he felt like disgust, repentance. Repentance. 5 things in Diksha. Tap is one of them, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says. Like in Sri Sampradaya they burn, right, the marks of the chakra and, what is it? Conch. They burn by some red hot things. Lucky not in Sri Sampradaya. I'm also lucky. These are called tap. Tap means to burn. But in our Sampradaya we don't do that. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, what is tap? Means lament, why I did that activity. All nonsense we did before, why I did that. This is one purification, one qualification for devotion. So Bilvamangal, what I'm doing? I'm meant to be sadhu, and again doing the same thing. So he asked the lady to give the hairpin. And she thought, maybe he has some thorn in his foot, he'll dig out. He said, thorn is not in heart, thorn is not in foot, thorn is in heart. Where there's no bamboo, there's no flute, so he took out his eyes. This is proof, Gaugamat said, he's on the stage of Bhav Bhakti. Sometimes even the stage of Bhav, some devotee can make some mistake. That is possible. Because some previous samskar, some previous bad habit, or even sometimes high-class person make mistake, but we should not criticize. Therefore in Gita, Krishna says, apichet suduracharo. Don't criticize. But of course, that mistake should really be a mistake. Not again and again doing the same thing, then that verse does not apply. So Bilvamangal made mistake, but immediately rectification, that's proof he was on high level. Gaugamat would say, pluck out your eyes, can you do? No, Maharaj. We do not have that love for Krishna, we cannot do. No? Yeah. So, Bilvamangal's blind, how is he going to get to Vrindavan? Then small boy came, Baba, where are you going? I want to go Vrindavan. I'm also going there. Catch hold of my stick, I'll take you there. Who is that boy, Zach? Krishna. So Bilvamangal grabbed his stick. There's so many realizations he had. Krishna's name, form, qualities, all activities. So as he was walking to Vrindavan, he was singing some poetry. All these verses he made. That became a book, Krishna Karanamrita. Last night we talked about Brahma Samhita. Lord Chaitanya brought that from South India. But this other book, Krishna Karanamrita, he also brought from South India. Because he was putting nectar in the ears of Krishna. It's called Krishna Karanamrita. No? So, when he got to Vrindavan, boy said, we come to Vrindavan. Bilvamangal thinking, how is it possible in 1-2 days I can walk 2,500 miles? 2,500 kilometers? Number one. Number two, what small boy is walking to Vrindavan from South India? Number three, why are having so many realization of Krishna's sweetness? Who is this boy? Then he realized, Krishna. So he tried to grab Krishna's hand. But Krishna pulled his hand out. Because Bilvamangal is still a sadhak, Bhav Bhakti. He is not perfected like Yasoda. He could not bind Krishna. So Krishna pulled out his hand. Then Bilvamangal laughed, I am old man, and you are a young boy. You can pull yourself from my hand, but you cannot pull yourself from my heart. So he stayed 900 years there in Vrindavan. Bilvamangal. So there he wrote one book, Krishna Karanamrita, and there is, what's the verse? The first verse? Chintamani Jayati Jayat Jayasoma Mole. Oh, no. What is it? Shiksha Gurus Cha Bhagavan Sishikanda Moli. Then? Yatpada Kalpa Parataru. Lila Swayamba Labate Jayastri. Beautiful. Anyway, we forget. We learn it goes in one brain cell and out the other. The first verse of this book, he wrote, I give my pranams to my gurus, Chintamani, the prostitute, because her words push me on this spiritual path. And his Diksha Guru, Soma. And he also, to Krishna, my Shiksha Guru, who has peacock in his head. Anyway, so Bilvamangal wrote all these things. So very nicely he wrote this Krishna Karanamrita. Madhusudamans translated all Sanskrit commentary of Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami's book like that. I haven't translated it yet. Too lazy. Forgive me, Bhagavan. So there's many, many sweet verses. No, he used to say, Advaita vete pate upashyamana swananda singhasana labda diksha. He was talking about his previous life. Who was I? I was guru of even others in the renounced order. Advaita pate upashyamana. Even other liberated souls would worship me. And swananda singhasana labda diksha. I was sitting on the throne of my own bliss, my own personal happiness. But what happened? I don't know how it happened. But some naughty boy who was always joking with the gopis by force made me his maidservant. It's all Bilbo Mangal's writings. Anyway, any other questions or anything? Tika? Hare Krishna. So even if we have desires, still better to worship Krishna. Still better to worship Him. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare